guys, good day. In this session, we are going to discuss on how to graph a quadratic functions. First, if we have a given of vertex form, y is equals to a multiplied by the square root of x minus h plus k, and the other one, given the general form, y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. In graphing quadratic functions, the graph that you can create is what you called parabola. So, parabola is a curved line. So, this is an example of parabola. So, pwede siyang opens upward and pwede rin namang opens downwards. Then, we have the parts of the parabola. The first part is what you call the vertex, where it is the turning point of the parabola, which is either lowest point or highest point. In our graph, we have an example here where the graph is opening upward and the other one is opening downward. As you can see, we have here the lowest point. So, this one is the lowest point for this graph. Ito. So, ito yung tinatawag nating vertex. So, siya yung pinakamababang point na makikita nyo. And if your graph is opening upwards, ang makikita nyo naman dito is a highest point, pinakamataas na point, where what you call this one naman is your vertex. Is it clear? Now, let's move with axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry is a line which divides the graph into two parts, such that one half of the graph is a reflection of the other half. Ito naman yung ibig sabihin ni axis of symmetry. So, kung siya ay half of the other part, therefore, ito yung pinakagitna ng inyong parabola. So, in this case, ang pinakagitna ng inyong parabola ay ito. Okay? So, laging ang palatandaan nyo is the vertex. So, yung pinaka-vertex nyo, that is your axis of symmetry. So, for us to find the axis of symmetry dito, ang inyong pagbabatayan lagi ay si itong nasa x nyo. Itong x-axis nyo. So, your axis of symmetry here is x is equal to, saan siya pumunta sa x, that is negative 2. So, yan yung pinakagitna ng inyong graph. So, kung saan, reflection siya. So, kung ito ay dalawang unit ang pagitan, kailangan sa kabilang side, dalawang unit din yung kanyang pagitan. Is it clear? So, kailangan magre-reflect siya to each other. So, you can create a parabola. Alright? Then, this one naman, kung hahanapin natin din si axis of symmetry, so tingnan nyo lang kung saan dinaanan yung x niya. So, ano ba yung x nitong point na to, nitong vertex na to? So, that is x is equal to 0. Therefore, your axis of symmetry here is 0. Ito yun, no? Ito yung x mo na dinaanan niya. So, that would be your axis of symmetry. So, in this case, kung kukuhanin mo naman ang vertex nito, so, your vertex is h and k, right? So, ang h mo ay si x, ang k mo ay si y. So, this is your vertex. What would be the vertex? That is negative 2 and then 0. How about this one? What would be your vertex? Ang x mo dito is 0, while your k is 2. That is your vertex. Is it clear? Next tayo. How will you know if the opening of your parabola is opens upward or opens downward? If and only if a is greater than 0. So, meaning, kapag daw yung a mo ay positive numbers, therefore, it opens upward. So, pag ganito daw po ang inyong parabola. Kapag ang a mo is greater than 0 or positive numbers. Then, if a is less than 0, therefore, it opens downward, meaning ang a mo ay negative. So, ganyan dapat ang kalalabasan ng inyong graph. Is it clear? Let us have an example. As you can see in this figure, so your equation here is y is equals to x plus 2 squared. So, nasan yung a mo dyan? So, yung a mo dyan, yung katabi nitong x na yan. As you can see, wala ka nakitang number. So, definitely, ang number niya is 1. Invisible 1. Is it clear? So, 1 is greater than 0. So, therefore, ang A mo dito ay A is equal to positive 1 where 1 is greater than 0. Since greater than 0 siya, it opens upward. That is it. How about this one? Why is it open downwards? Ano yung katabi ngayon ng x mo? Ang katabi ng x mo ay negative. Right? So, wala siyang numerical coefficient. Therefore, ang numerical coefficient niya is invisible 1. So, therefore, ang A mo dito is negative 1. Since negative 1 is less than 0, therefore, it opens downward. Is it clear? Let's move with the steps on graphing quadratic functions given the vertex form y equals to a times the square root of x minus h plus k. Here are the steps. The first step that you need to know, we are going to determine the opening of the parabola. So, kanina, na-discuss natin kung paano natin malalaman ang opening ng isang parabola. So, we are going to find for A. What would be the A of this given? Y is equals to the square root of x plus 1 minus 4 is our given. So, for us to find A, ano lang yung katabi ni x din sa labas ng open and close parentheses. As you can see, wala ka nakitang number, therefore, it is invisible 1. So, since it is positive and greater than 0, the opening of the parabola, it opens upward. Right? Kung negative yan, it opens downward. Next step, determine the vertex h and k. So, in this form, this one is your h, eto, and then your k. Kapag h ang hinahanap natin, we are going to change the sign. So, si positive 1, it becomes negative 1, and then this one, just copy, we have here negative 4. That would be your vertex. So, ito yung ating pinaka-vertex. Is it clear? Next, step 3. Find x-intercept by replacing y with 0. Solve for x. So, for us to find the x-intercept, we are going to let y be equals to 0. So, ang given natin is y is equals to x plus 1 squared minus 4. Itong y, you are going to change it into 0. So, it becomes x plus 1 squared minus 4. Then, you are going to transpose yung may x part doon sa left side. So, it becomes, so ito ay positive, it becomes, dadalin mo lahat to lahat ng merong open and close parentheses. So, it becomes negative x plus 1 squared minus 4. Equals negative 4. Ayan. Then, tatanggalin natin yung negative dyan. Divide both sides by negative 1, canceled out. So, this one becomes x plus 1 squared is equal to positive 4. Then, kailangan natin mawala yung square dyan by square root. Subtracting square root tayo. So, tanggalin mo yung square dyan, then yung square root. So, ang mangyayari sa kanya, so extend natin to it becomes x plus 1 is equal to, kapag magkukuha tayo ng square root, should be positive and negative. Square root ni 4, it becomes 2. Is it clear? Then, paghihiwalayin natin yung isang positive at saka isang negative. So, dito natin iusod para malaki yung space. So, you have here, yung isa ay x plus 1 is equal to positive 2. Yung isa magiging x plus 1 is equal to negative 2. Okay? Then, solve for x. Just transpose. X is equals to 2. Lipat mo yung 1 sa kabila, magiging negative 1. So, 2 minus 1, x is equals to positive 1. So, yung x-intercept mo dito, ang x mo ay 1, ang y mo ay 0. 1 and 0. So, yan yung isang mong point. Next tayo, ito, x plus 1 equals to negative 2. So, solve. X is equal to negative 2. Yung negative 1, lipat mo, it becomes negative 1. So, x is equals to negative 3. Nagigets? Then, your x-intercept therefore is negative 3 and then 0. This is the other point. So, meron ka ng tatlong points. Vertex, then dalawang x-intercept. Okay? Next tayo. We have the next step. Find the y-intercept by replacing x with 0. So, pagkatapos mo kay x-intercept, pagkatapos natin dito kay x-intercept, let us find y-intercept. So, for us to find y-intercept, let x be equal to 0. So, let us use again your given equation. Y is equals to x plus 1 squared minus 4. Change lang natin yung x into 0. Y is equals to, it becomes 0 plus 1 squared minus 4. 0 plus 1 is 1. So, we have here 1 squared minus 4. What is 1 squared? The answer is 1. So, therefore, 1 minus 4. So, your y is equal to negative 3. That is it. So, since we have y-intercept, ang x mo ay 0 daw, then ang y mo is negative 3. So, meron tayo ngayong 1, 2, 3, and then 4. 4 na points na ipa-plot sa ating graph. Sabi dun sa step 5, we are going to plot the points and then connect. Is it clear? Now, let's move with graphing. In graphing, we are going to plot first the vertex. Ito, negative 1 and negative 4. Since pareha silang negative, nasa third quadrant yan. So, kailangan alam yung mag-plot ng points ha. So, doon ka muna kay x. We have here negative 1. Ito yung x. Then, yung negative 4, pababa. Since negative, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, this is the point. Yan. Kailangan tapat ha. So, this would be your vertex. Ito yung turning point ng inyong graph. So, your vertex is negative 1 and negative 4. Yan. Next tayo, let us have the x-intercept. So, ang x-intercept mo is 1 and 0. Yung isa. So, 1 and 0, that is positive. So, ito yun. 1 and 0. 1 ang x mo, ang y mo ay 0. So, meaning, hindi ka tumaas, hindi ka bumaba. Dun lang ikaw sa pinaka x-intercept. Next tayo, we have negative 3 and 0. So, negative 3 dito. We have here negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. So, this is the other point. Ito yung 1 and 0 mo. Then, this one is negative 3 and 0. Next tayo. Let us plot the y-intercept. Ang y-intercept mo is negative 3. So, 0 and negative 3. So, nasaan yun? Ito yung y-intercept. Ang y-intercept nandun lang sa pinaka-line ng y-axis ha. So, negative 3, 1, 2, 3. So, this is your other points which is negative 3, which is 0 and negative 3. Alright? Then, afterwards, we are going to connect the points. So, dito muna tayo sa right side kasi medyo madali siya kasi meron siyang point na dito. So, ganito lang yung gagawin nyo. So, curve mo na lang. Ganyan. So, kailangan sa kabilang side, same siya. So, para mapantayin nyo siya, kailangan nyong kuhanin yung other points nito. Yung katapat mismo ng inyong y-intercept, yung other points dito, para mas madali nyo siyang maigraph na ganoon. Since ang ating parabola ay meron tinatawag na axis of symmetry, reflection siya. Kung reflection siya, kailangan same lang yung sides niya. So, dito, from the axis of symmetry, ang tinalo niya ay 1 unit. So, therefore, dito, ang tatalunin din natin is 1 unit din. Nakatapat nitong y-intercept mo. So, this one, itong ipopoint natin, ito yung other points. Other points para makita natin yung kapantayan niya sa ating graph. So, since you have now your other points, ngayon, ito ngayon ay atin na pong i-graph. Ayan. So, kailangan po pantayan. Ayan. So, that is now your parabola. So, ganyan lang kasimpleng gumawa ng parabola. Ang given mo ay vertex point. So, tandaan lang po ang steps para po makagawa ka ng parabola. So, mas maganda kung ito ay i-graph nyo sa tinatawag nating graphing paper. Napakadaling maghanap ng other points para siya ay magkaroon ka ng perfect draw of a parabola. So, for us to name this one, ang name ng ating parabola is y is equals to x minus 1 squared minus 4. Ito lang yon yung equation natin. So, that's the name of your parabola. Ngayon, kung ang hahanapin mo ngayon ay si axis of symmetry, what would be the axis of symmetry? Ito yung axis of symmetry eh. So, ang axis of symmetry natin ay x is equal to, ito, yung pinaka-x mo dito, that is negative 1. So, si negative 1 ang pinakagitna ng ating graph. Is it clear? So, that is how you are going to graph if your given is a vertex form. Now, let us have another one. Number 2. Y equals to negative 2 times the square root of x plus 2 plus 8. First step, let us find the opening of the parabola. First, let us have your a. Ang a natin ay ito. So, we have here negative 2. So, si negative 2 is less than 0. Therefore, it opens downward. That is it. Next, let us find for the h and k, your vertex. So, this one is your h, then this one is your k. Yung h mo, change the sign, so it becomes negative 2. Ang k mo, stay as is, that is 8. We're done. Next tayo. Find the x-intercept. We are going to let y be equals to 0. So, your given is 0 is equal to negative 2 times x plus 2 squared plus 8. Then, we are going to transpose this part to the other side. So, it becomes, so negative 2 magiging positive. 2 times x plus 2 squared plus 8. Equals positive 8. Then, divide both sides by 2. Kailangan mawala yung 2 dito sa labas. So, canceled out. So, it becomes x plus 2 squared is equal to 8 divided by 2. The answer is 4. Afterwards, is square root both sides. For us to solve for x, canceled out square, then the square root. So, we have here x plus 2 is equal to, if you find the square root of 4, the answer should be positive and negative 2 ulit. Then, paghiwalayin ang positive and negative. So, dito na natin ilagay yung isa. Yung isa ay x plus 2 is equals to positive 2. Yung isa ay x plus 2 is equal to negative 2. Pinaghiwalay lang natin to ha, tsaka yan. Then, solve for x. X is equals to, just copy 2, then yung 2 lipat mo sa kabilang side, it becomes minus 2. Therefore, x 2 minus 2, the answer is 0. Since ang x mo ay 0, therefore, this one is 0, and then your y is also 0. So, ibig sabihin, yung isang x-intercept mo ay mismong nasa origin. Next, x is equals to negative 2, just transpose positive 2, it becomes negative 2. S is equals to negative 4. Your points is negative 4 and then 0. 0 yung y mo. Isang x mo is negative 4, then we have here 0. So, ito na yung ating x-intercept. Now, let us move with the y-intercept. Find the y-intercept. We are going to let x be equal to 0. So, this is your equation. Y is equals to negative 2 times x plus 2 squared plus 8. Just change x into 0. So, we have here negative 2 times 0 plus 2 squared plus 8. Then solve. So, it is equal to negative 2 times 0 plus 2, we have here 2 squared plus 8. What is 2 squared? We have 4. 4 times 2 times negative 2, the answer is negative 8 plus 8. What is negative 8 plus 8? The answer is 0. It is equal to 0. So, therefore, ang x mo ay 0, ang y mo is also 0. So, this one is your y-intercept. Y equals to 0. Is it clear? Since we have now your points, the vertex, the x-intercept, and y-intercept, now let us have the graph. Plot the points of the vertex. So, yung vertex mo, since downward tayo, yun yung pinaka-highest point mo. So, wala nang tataas dito kay negative 2 and positive 8. Since ang x mo ay negative 2, so dito tayo sa left. Then, ang 8 mo ay positive, dun tayo sa taas. So, count tayo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then, tapat natin sa negative 2. So, this is your point. This is your vertex, which is negative 2 and positive 8. So, this is now your vertex. Next tayo, let us have the x-intercept. Ang una nating x-intercept is 0 and 0. That is on the origin. Ito yung isa. We have 0 and 0. And the other one is negative 4. Negative 4 and 0. So, count tayo dito. We have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. So, this one is the other 0. That is negative 4 and 0. So, that's the other point. Next tayo, we have the y-intercept which is 0 and 0 rin. So, nandito rin yung y-intercept mo. So, kapag ganyan na, makikita mo naman na pwede mo na siyang i-graph na balanse. So, ito yung magiging axis of symmetry mo. Ano ngayon ang axis of symmetry mo? Ito yung x mo. So, ang axis of symmetry mo ay x is equals to negative 2. This is your axis of symmetry. So, kung mapapansin nyo, ang axis of symmetry nyo, yung lagi nyong h o kaya yung tinatawag nating x. X sa ating vertex. Alright? Then, we are going to connect the points. Sorry. So, we have here that one. And then, this one. So, ganun lang. So, that is how will you graph the parabola of y is equals to negative 2 times x plus 2 squared plus 8. That is it. Okay? So, hopefully, nagigets siya. Now, let's move naman kapag naman ang given mo is in the general form. Let us have the steps on how to graph a quadratic functions given the general form y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. First step again, we are going to find for the opening of the parabola. So, paano mo makukuha dito si a? So, di ba ito ay ax squared plus bx plus c. So, this is your a, yung katabi lang ni quadratic, the quadratic term. So, your a is equal to positive 1. So, since it is greater than 0, therefore, it opens upward. So, that is your opening. Next tayo. Find the vertex h and k. So, dito, since hindi siya vertex form, hindi mo agad makikita yung kanyang pinaka-vertex. For us to find the vertex, gagamit ka ng formula. For h, we have negative b over 2a. For k, we have 4ac minus b squared over 4a. We are going to determine what is your a, your b, and c to your given equation. Ang a mo dito, we have your positive 1, your b is negative 4, and your c is negative 5. Then we are going to solve. So, your h is equal to negative. Ang b natin is negative 4. Negative 4 over 2a. Then, it is equal to negative, ang a mo is positive 1. Change na natin yan. Negative times negative, it becomes positive. So, it becomes 4 over 2. So, your h is equals to, positive 2 So, your 4 over 2 is equal to 2. So, that is your h. Then, for your k, we have 4 times, ang a mo is 1, ang c mo is negative 5. And then, minus, ang b mo is negative 4 squared. Then, over 4 multiplied by your a, which is 1. Then, solve. 4 times 1 times negative 5, the answer is negative 20. Minus, negative times 4 squared, ito magiging 16. So, negative 16 over 4. Then, solve. 20 minus 6, negative 20 minus 16, the answer is negative 36 over 4. That is negative 9. This is now your k. So, your h and k is 2 and negative 9. That is the vertex. Next tayo, let us have the next step. We are going to find for the x-intercept. So, we are going to let y be equals to 0. So, ito yung given natin. So, 0 is equals to x squared minus 4x minus 5. For us to solve this one, yung 0, lipat na lang natin sa kabilang side. So, ganyan na lang. Then, solve for x by using factoring. X and x, what would be the factors of negative 5 na kapag in-add or subtract mo, the answer is negative 4. So, the answer is negative 5 and positive 1. That is it. Negative 5 times 1, negative 5. Negative 5 plus 1, the answer is negative 4. Okay? Next, solve for x. X minus 5 equals to 0, then x plus 1 is equals to 0. X is equals to positive 5, and then the other one is x is equals to negative 1. So, yan na. Nakita na natin yung ating x-intercept. So, ang ating x-intercept is 5 and 0. The other one is negative 1 and then 0. Then, for the next step, we are going to find for the y-intercept. So, dito ko na lang ilagay si y-intercept. Madali naman si y-intercept. So, we are going to let x be equals to 0. So, from the given, y equals to x squared minus 4x minus 5. Yung excess mo raw, gagawin mong 0. Y is equals to 0 squared minus 4 times 0 minus 5. So, meaning mawawala to kasi 0 na. Ito mawawala rin, magiging 0 na. Therefore, your y is equal to negative 5. Then, your y-intercept is 0 and negative 5. So, ayan na. Meron na tayong points. So, kung mapapansin nyo, mas medyo madali yung kanina kasi hindi na natin kukuhanin yung vertex using the given formula. So, isang tingin mo lang makikita mo na yung vertex mo. Unlike this one, kailangan muna talagang isolve yung vertex mo para ma-plot mo dun sa inyong graph. Now, let us have the graph. Plot the vertex. Your vertex is 2 and negative 9. So, positive ang 2 mo. So, this one is positive 2. Then, negative 9. So, pababa tayo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then, positive 2. So, ito yung pinaka-point natin. So, that would be your vertex. Yan. Vertex. So, ang vertex natin is negative 2 and, positive 2 and negative 9. So, since ang ating graph is opens upward, therefore, this one is lowest point. Ito yung pinaka-lowest point mo. Alright? Next tayo. Let us have the x-intercept. 5 and 0. So, nandito dapat yon. Count lang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, ito yung isa. 5 and 0. Then, the other one is negative 1 and 0. Negative 1 and 0. This one is negative 1. So, yun na. Next tayo, yung y-intercept mo is 0 and negative 5. So, ito. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, 0 and negative 5. So, dun tayo muna sa tatlong point para madali. So, ating pong connect. So, ayan. Ayan. So, that's the connection. So, pwede na natin niyang i-extend. Tapos, para makuha mo yung sa kabilang side, para mag-equal siya, so, kailangan muna natin yung axis of symmetry para makita natin. Mas madali kasi reflection siya. So, dito, from the axis of symmetry, kung tatalong ka dito sa y-intercept mo, ilang units yun? 1, 2. So, dapat dito sa kabilang side, 2 units din. 1, 2. So, dun dapat sa 4. Yan. So, ito yung other points mo. Para makuha mo yung kabilang side ng reflection niya. Then, connect mo lang. Okay. That is it. So, yan na yung kanyang pinaka-graph. So, kukuhanin mo ang axis of symmetry mo, ito lang yon. X is equals to positive 2. So, this is your axis of symmetry. Ito yon. Yan yung pinaka-gitna niya. Naintindihan? Then, the name of your graph, kung ano yung inyong equation, which is y is equal to x squared minus 4x minus 5. That is it. So, that is how will you graph naman kapag ang given mo is on the general form. Alright? That's all for today. Hopefully, may natutunan kayo in our lesson. If you have questions, just write your questions in our comment box. Then, sasagutin ko po kayo doon. And that's all. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye!